Let's do some live Buffalo Bills 7-round mock drafts today on Locked On Bills.
You are Locked On Bills, your daily Buffalo Bills podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Bills Mafia? It's Joe Marino from the Draft Network, and I'm your host of Locked On Bills. Happy Friday to you, and thank you for making Locked On Bills your first listen every day, or if you're joining us on the YouTube channel, your first watch every day. Just like we did last Friday, I want to do some Buffalo Bills 7-round mock drafts on the podcast using the Draft Network's mock draft machine. This is going to be fun. I enjoyed last week, got a lot of great feedback, including the annoying phone rings that were going on the entire time, because when you use the mock draft machine on the draftnetwork.com and you're offered a trade, it gives you a phone ringing sound. And I muted the tab in my browser, but it still showed up in the recording. I did not anticipate that. I'm very sorry. I've remedied that problem this time around. So no annoying phone rings this time or ever again. Again, my apologies for that happening. Now, last week, I did this thing where I told myself I couldn't repeat picks. And that'll be the same again this week. I won't repeat players that I do. If we do 2 or 3 simulations, I won't pick the same player twice. But I'm also going to make sure that in these iterations that I don't pick a player in the first round that I did last Friday. And so last Friday we did a simulation where I took Chris Olave, the wide receiver from Ohio State. We did one where I took running back Breece Hall from Iowa State. And I did one where we took Tariq Woolen out of UTSA. So I'm promising you right now that all of the simulations today will not repeat any of those first round selections. And that's what I want to do. I want to present scenarios. And if I present the same scenario over and over and over again, that's not achieving anything. And so I love to explore the domino effects based on how things go. And so we will not pick any of those players again this time around. So let's get going. Let's pull up the mock draft machine and do some Buffalo Bills 7-round mock drafts. Getting things loaded up. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can see the simulator. And if you're with us on the regular podcast feed, I'll do my very best to talk us through everything that we're seeing. So the Bills pick at number 25. We are coming up on the board. And this is really interesting. The number one player available is Trevor Penning from Northern Iowa. And I would not anticipate him being on the board in this scenario. I love Penning. I think he's an absolute stud. Now, I do think that he's a tackle. You know, he's not a player that I project to moving to guard, and I don't project Deion Dawkins or Spencer Brown moving to guard. So it's difficult for me to envision the path for him to get on the field, but he is one of those talents that stands out to me and makes me really think about things, because it's one of those premium positions and a guy just fell that really had no business falling. And that's the simulator. It's supposed to give you variance like that. Oh, boy. All right. Let's see what else is on the board here. Any of the corners? I don't love the corners that are available. I could do the Daxton Hill thing. I might do that. Let's see if there's any receivers. Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson are here. Interior offensive line. Wow, the interior offensive lineman went quick. Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green are both picked. So Tyler Smith, your top option there. Let's do that thing that I tried to do last week, but I goofed. Let's pick Daxton Hill. He's a safety from Michigan, and I think he can play corner. I don't really have any doubts that he can play corner. I think he's one of those players that can literally play every single spot in the secondary and do it at a high level. He could play slot corner. He could play outside corner. He could play free safety. He could play strong safety. He's that type of talent. So I'm drafting him to be a starting outside corner for me, and then maybe he transitions to safety and replaces either Hyde or Poyer in a few years. But for now, we're just going to pick him to be an outside corner for us. All right, we're up again here at pick number 57 in the second round. Let's see what we got. We got some good running backs available. Isaiah Spiller, Breece Hall is on the board. We've got Dylan Parham, this interior offensive lineman from Memphis that I love. I'll see the wide receivers, John Mechie, Calvin Austin, Jalen Tolbert. Let's pick Dylan Parham from Memphis. This is one of my favorite players in the draft. Let me tell you some things about him. In high school, he played linebacker and tight end. And then he also played basketball and track. And typically when you talk about offensive linemen or football players participating in track in high school, it's because they throw shot put or discus. No, Dylan Parham was a sprinter and a jumper. Went to Memphis to play tight end, moved to offensive line in the spring of 2018, 4-year starter, had 2 seasons at left guard, 1 season at right tackle, and his last season at right guard. He played center at the Senior Bowl. I like him best as a right guard. I think he's a stud. Versatile player, balanced, powerful, fits any scheme. And with the Bills enjoying Roger Saffold this year, but he's probably a 1-year thing. And remember, Saffold had a lot of injuries last year. That shoulder thing was really a problem. It would be great to have a developmental starter in place to step in and be one of your starters next year. So let's go with Dylan Parham here, interior offensive lineman from Memphis, one of my favorite players in the draft. So we go Daxton Hill. We'll call him a corner from Michigan. Then Dylan Parham, interior offensive lineman from Memphis in the second round. The Bills' third round pick, number 89. Troy Anderson, the linebacker from Montana State, stands out to me. You know, the Bills have been doing some research on linebackers, which is very, very interesting. We've got Cole Strange, love him out of Chattanooga, offensive lineman. We had just picked one, so we won't double dip there. Cam Taylor-Britt's here. Josh Williams is on the board. A lot of good players. Let's look at the wide receivers. I feel like, yeah, we got to get us a wide receiver here. And Jalen Tolbert's going to be the pick out of South Alabama. He's a stud, vertical downfield threat, good ball skills, good hands, good route running, high character guy. I think he can be a top 3 option in an NFL passing offense. So give me Jalen Tolbert here in the third round out of South Alabama. And so you guys know them. I believe the Bills' top 3 needs are corner, interior offensive line, wide receiver, and then running back. And I really like that we're able to get 3 really good answers here to start things off. Fourth round, pick number 130. Let's see what we have on the board at running back. A lot of good options. Pierce, Rachaad White, Jerome Ford. Really like all 3 of those players. Let me see if the overall value, if there's a player that really stands out to me. Some good corners here. Zion McCollum's a player I like. Cheeto Okonkwo, a tight end from Maryland's a good player that's interesting to me. I think we need to go with a running back here. I want to pick Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati. He's a stud, had over 1,700 yards this past season for the Bearcats. And it was really his only season as a starter. He began his career at Alabama, transferred to Cincinnati. He was kind of a backup in 2020, the feature guy in 2021, and he was phenomenal. No nonsense runner, runs to daylight, good decision making, good vision, has long speed. You know, he's definitely has a second gear where he can run away from people. The only thing with Jerome Ford, he's a bit underdeveloped on passing downs. You wish he made a bigger impact as a pass catcher and as a pass blocker. Now, he caught most of his targets, so he has hands. He just wasn't featured in the passing game. And I think he's got to work on his processing as a pass blocker, but I think he has a real chance to be a meaningful 1A, 1B type back at the next level. So we'll go with Jerome Ford here in the fourth round. All right, the ticker's going. Coming up in the fifth round, we've got a running back, a wide receiver, a guard, and a corner. Now we're not really going to be locked into positions. We're just going to try to get good football players here the rest of the way. We won't pay as much attention to position, although I do want to get spots. I want to get players in spots that I think can realistically challenge to make their roster. So I'm trying to see if there's any just crazy values that stand out to me. And I don't feel like that's the case right now. Cam Jurgens is a really good player out of Nebraska, center only type player. Man, things got snatched up. I love Pierre Strong out of South Dakota State, but I just picked a running back. I'm going to sort by some different positions here. I'm going to go interior defensive line. Nothing pops. What about a linebacker? We should go with a linebacker here. Pick 168. I like Elvis Brooks. I don't love Elvis Brooks. I would love to wait another round and get him. Feel like linebackers are worth waiting for. Is there an edge? Man, edge rushers go fast. You're not really going to wait and get a good edge. What about an offensive tackle? All right, here we go. This is one of my favorite players in the draft. We're going to go with Zach Tom out of Wake Forest. Think Ryan Bates with Zach Tom, a guy that you look at and can play all 5 spots, has starting experience at center and tackle for Wake Forest. I think he can play guard. He projects best to an interior position in the NFL because he's not super long or like massive, right? He doesn't have that wide body that you're looking for to play tackle, but he profiles well to guard. And so we're going to make him the pick here and get ourselves a very versatile offensive lineman that I think can back up all 5 spots and really elevate the depth of your offensive line overall. All right, pick 185. Here we are. We're back up. Man, Pierre Strong's still there. I might have to take him just because I love that home run ability that he offers, only over 7 yards per carry. Let's see. Scrolling, Wanye Thomas is a really good safety hybrid player that I like for teams. Developmental player. I'm just going to pick the player I like the most on the board, and that's, I like Chase Lucas too. I'm going to pick Chase Lucas. Chase Lucas is a player I think the Bills will really like. Good athlete. Leadership is very obvious. I had a chance to watch him at the Shrine Bowl out in Vegas, and I had an appreciation for how he took command of the secondary. He made sure everyone was lined up. The coaches were feeding him the information, and he had a pretty productive career at Arizona State, a high character guy and a good athlete. Let's make him the pick here. Can never have enough good corners, and so I don't mind double dipping at cornerback. We are ticking along here. We got pick number 203 up next. My goodness, Pierre Strong is still on the board. I'm picking him. I'm not letting it go any further than this. He is the pick. We'll double dip at running back, and we'll get ourselves a couple of explosive guys here that I really like. But Pierre Strong at 203 is just too good of a value. Couldn't let him fall any further. And now we're back up at number 231 overall. And I think this is a good spot to pick Elvis Brooks, the linebacker from Penn State. Off-ball linebacker, can play multiple spots, good athlete. I think he's a really good 7th-round pick. So I like how this came together. First round, cornerback Daxton Hill out of Michigan. Dylan Parham in the 2nd round out of Memphis, a guard. Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver, South Alabama in the 3rd round. 4th round, Jerome Ford, running back, Cincinnati. 5th round, Zach Tom, versatile offensive lineman out of Wake Forest. Chase Lucas, high character cornerback out of Arizona State. Pierre Strong, an explosive running back out of South Dakota State. And Elvis Brooks, a nice backup linebacker that can give you some special teams upside at pick number 231. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all of your sports betting needs and info. Make sure you check them out. They got the Masters going on this week, and whatever sports you want to wager on, you can do it over at BetOnline. They've got great different information. They have live and updated odds. You can bet live, right? There's live betting, there's player props, there's esports. They've got it all. You can bet on NFL future things. So, like right now, the Bills are the favorites to win the AFC East and go to the Super Bowl. If you want to bet on that stuff, you can head on over to betonline.net and do so today. You can use your mobile device. It's an awesome website. I love to put my bets down at BetOnline, and it is where the game starts. All right, let's get the simulator going once again here. And I will do that thing where I will not repeat any of the picks that I just made. So none of the players I just picked are eligible to be picked this time around. So I'm getting everything loaded up here on the mock draft machine. We're not going to pick. Who did I just pick? Daxton Hill. He's not available for us this time around. So we got to do something a little bit different here at pick number 25. Oh, it happened. Jamison Williams. Jamison Williams fell to 25. I am not hesitating. I am not hesitating for a second. We are turning in the card. Jamison Williams is one of my dream picks at number 25. I've raved about him several times on this podcast. He is an explosive vertical threat, the best vertical threat in this year's class. Amazing ball skills and hands, yards after catch. He is everything you could want in a wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. If he's on the board at 25, say no more. We're gonna make him the pick and not think twice about it. All right, so let's see if there's any good cornerback talent available for us here at number 57. I could pick Alante Taylor in this spot, and I would like that, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if there's other value that I like better. Kenneth Walker's on the board, Isaiah Spiller, Breece Hall. I might go with one of those running backs. Let's do that thing where we prioritize weapons. This would be a fun scenario. Let's do that. Now, my RB1 is Isaiah Spiller, and he's actually visiting. He's going to have a top 30 visit with the Bills. So they have some interest in him as well. I think he's the best combination of vision and contact balance in this class. And he can catch a football. He can pass block. The only thing that he's missing is that, like, breakaway speed. But we talked about this. You can't major in minor things. Explosive long runs don't happen in the NFL. There was like 4 running backs last year that had more than 10 runs of 20 plus. There was like 7 running backs that had 5 or more runs of 20 plus. What you want is a player that can make teams pay for going light boxes against you. You want to play 2 high safeties? All right, bet. Deal with Isaiah Spiller, who has the vision and contact balance to make you pay. I love Isaiah Spiller. I think he's the most nuanced runner in this class. He's the pick. So we go weapons, and that's what I love about the variety here. We're going wide receiver, running back to start off this scenario. Jamison Williams, Isaiah Spiller. And, I mean, those guys step into your building, and obviously Jamison Williams is injured, but you feel like you have an impact receiver and an impact running back. I think that's a home run, first 2 picks. Oh, my goodness. Pick 89, Isaiah Likely's on the board. Remember last week when we did this and I literally could not pass him up? I might fall into the same thing again. But I also need a corner, like, in a big way. And they're coming off the board quick. I got to get a corner here. Cam Taylor-Britt from Nebraska. Slam dunk fit for the Buffalo Bills. Length, physicality. Played quarterback in high school. Came to Nebraska, 3-year team captain. He's everything the Bills are going to love in a prospect. So he's our 3rd-round pick. We're probably going to double dip at corner, so just be ready for that. Man, I love this scenario. Jamison Williams, Isaiah Spiller, Cam Taylor-Britt as your top 3 picks. We may have peaked, folks. This could be the best one I've put together yet. I don't really care what happens after this because those first 3 picks are absolutely phenomenal. We talk about Built Bars all the time, the world's best tasting protein bars, but have you tried the Puffs? If you haven't, then you're missing out on one of Built Bar's best tasting bars. Puffs are the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. They're fluffy, they're marshmallowy, they're not just a protein bar, they're a treat, and they're covered in 100% real chocolate because all Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate, and they're healthy. Most Built Bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. And they have so many great flavors: mint brownie, coconut, raspberry, coconut almond, so many great flavors. And they're coming out with new ones all the time. So make sure you check out Built.com often to see what's new and available. And at Built Bar, it's all about taste. They make it taste great first, then they figure out how to make it healthy. And I don't know how they do it, but they pull it off every single time. Got a deal for you. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKED15. You'll get 15% off your next order. Again, that's promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. All right, so we have Jamison Williams, Isaiah Spiller, Cam Taylor-Britt, and we're back up here in the 4th round, number 130 overall. This could be a good opportunity to double dip at corner because I like Kobe Bryant. I like Zion McCollum. Those are worthwhile players. Let me see if there's an interior offensive lineman that I like. No, if Cole Strange was there, I was going to pick him, but he's not. We already got a running back. We already got a receiver. Am I going to go ahead and double dip here? What if I did Matt Araiza here, the punter? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and swing for the punter. Matt Araiza, the punt god, San Diego State. And then we'll think about double dipping at corner and check out the offensive line options here with this next pick. And maybe we'll peep at the tight ends as well. Let's see what they're offering. I can tell you, I just pulled up the tight end board. I don't like what it looks like at all. We're going to pass on those players. Is there a corner left? There's corners left. We're not going to get a steal. I like Monterick Brown. He might be the pick. Let me see if there's any other players that really pop. Yeah, let's go with Monterick Brown, corner out of Arkansas. He's got length. He's got zone coverage ability, really good ball skills. That might be the best thing about him. He's a scrappy player. It's physical. The only concern is that he's just not super twitched up. A lot like the players you see the Bills draft at corner. So I think it'd be a nice developmental depth piece. We will double dip at corner and get younger and deeper. Pick 185 is the Bills' next pick. We got ourselves 2 corners, a running back, a wide receiver, and a punter. I feel like I got to get a big person. We got to get a lineman, right? I haven't picked an interior offensive lineman yet. And the options are definitely drying up a little bit on us. I like Chris Paul. I like Cade Mays. I mean, we're talking about, 6th round, number 185. You're not going to get perfect players. Ooh, Zach Tom's here. But I did that thing. I told myself I couldn't pick the same player twice. But look who's there. Luke Godeke. I'm turning in the card. I think he's a stud. I'd pick him in the 3rd round. Honest to God. I think I said this last week, but we have him too low. We got to bump him up. But that's not my problem right now. We're going to pick him. I think he's a guard, converted tight end, gets after people, love his balance. Gives you that versatility to play tackle in a pinch. I can't pass up on him here. So we got our 7th round. No, we got 203. 203 is our next pick. Let's see what's available for us. Maybe there's a tight end. Not really. Not really. Not even James Mitchell, the injured tight end from Virginia Tech that I sometimes like to sneak in here. He's not on the board for us. Double dip at wide receiver? Nah, I don't like these options. Interior defensive line? No. Edge? No. Linebacker? No. Safety? I like Wanye Thomas. All right, let's go with a pure tackle this time around. Obinna Easy out of TCU. Has played a lot of football, started his career at Memphis. Didn't start playing football until his senior year of high school because he's from Nigeria. And so he's got a lot of upward mobility. He's got good length. He's got good foot quickness. I think he's a nice developmental swing tackle to challenge Tommy Doyle. Make him the pick here at 203. And that leaves just one pick to make here in this mock draft. Number 231 overall. Let's see how this thing falls. All right, we're on the board. We're on the board. Let's see here. You know what I'm going to pick? Amari Barno. He's an interesting player. I don't think he's a perfect fit for the Bills. Kind of a long, lean edge rusher. But I think he gives you the upside and appeal that you had with Darryl Johnson. So like this big souped up special teams guy that can run down the field and cover kicks and punts. But he also gives you this like speed rush element. To me, he'd be a nice fun flyer to draft and, put behind Von Miller and see if you can get a little bit of a steal here. So we'll go with the toolsy. Right, that's what you're doing in the 7th round. Give me the toolsy guy that's underdeveloped that you think has a chance to develop into something. And Amari Barno with his crazy speed and length is an attractive option. So this iteration, we go Jamison Williams, wide receiver, Alabama in the 1st round, and I am swooning over that. Isaiah Spiller, the running back from Texas A&M, in the second round. Cam Taylor-Britt, corner from Nebraska in the third round. Went with the punter, Matt Areza, in the fourth round. Monterick Brown at number 168, a corner out of Arkansas. Luke Godeke, offensive guard, Central Michigan at 185. 203, Obinna Easy from TCU. He's an offensive tackle. And then Amari Barno, edge from Virginia Tech to close things out. Folks, that was fun. I enjoyed that. We'll probably make this a Friday tradition between now and the draft. So we'll make sure that we continue to work through these scenarios and give you different options. But, man, I'm still smiling over getting Jamison Williams. Now give that to me in real life, and we'll be seeing a real dynamic passing attack for the Bills with his vertical skill set and yards after catch. So one of my favorite gotta pick 'em players if he's there at 25. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here today on the podcast and this week on the podcast. Hope you had a great week. Hope you have a great weekend planned. As always, I kindly ask that you share, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. I look forward to catching up with you again on Monday.